this one. Now it's time for the ranting, baby. That's right. Okay, first off, let's start with it. Acting. Where is it? Where's the acting? Did you see it? Did you see it? I didn't see it. I thought I saw it. It's like, where's Waldo? If you were to take Waldo and clip out all the different pages of the book and put it in a shotgun and fire it, and all the stuff would go flying like confetti, guess what? You'd never be able to find him. And between 3 people in the room, we couldn't find it either. You ever play that game with the piranha fish that keep clicking and clacking and their mouths open, and you gotta use the little fishing pole to get it on the little thing, but after about 4, 5, 6 times, maybe even like 10 or 12 minutes, because you really want that fish, it just doesn't quite stick? That's this movie. It doesn't work. There's no plot. And acting and plot together, forget it. Forget it. It's like putting baking soda and mouthwash together. You think something really colorful is going to happen, it doesn't. The one part about this film that made the 3 of us, my sister, her boyfriend, and I laugh, was this ridiculous storyline, plotline, I guess you could say, of don't talk about my dad. Don't talk about my dad. Don't you talk about my dad. If you talk about my dad, I'm going to get serious. Don't talk about my dad. And so he's talking about his dad. Big deal. We all talk about our fathers. I talk about my dad. My sister talks about her dad. Everybody talks about her dads. Why? They're family. But no, not this one. Sean MacArthur punched his dad. Punched his dad. Where does that even come off as being a plot problem? You punch your dad, and guess where he's from? Alabama! Alabama! And he's like, that's it, I'm moving to New York City. Oh, by the way, if you can even detect the slightest hint of southern accent in there, let me know. He is the most Florida-ized, I don't even know if that's a word, but guess what, I'm making it one. The most Florida-ized type of vocal actor I've ever seen. There's nothing southern about him. He's more New York than Alabama. There's no way. How are you doing this? But don't talk about his dad, because if you talk about his dad, ho-ho, the pain is coming. And in what way is the pain coming? By him knocking you out with either the cheapest hit seen by mankind with either a sink or the floor. That's right. Some great fighter this kid turns out to be. If you've got any masonry or hardware for your kitchen laying around, be careful, he's gonna knock you out, put you in a world of pain, son. This is another problem that we have with Terrence Howard's figure. Which, by the way, Terrence, baby, what happened to you? What happened? What? As soon as they told you that you're not doing War Machine, did you completely just bug out? Was this it? Was this your reaction? You said, that's it, I'm gonna have a fighting chance? People thought you were kidding. But this is serious? What are you doing? Oh my goodness. His whole thing is, you gonna hit me, Sean? You gonna hit me? You gonna hit me, Sean? Sean, please hit him. Please hit him and let him know that he is Terrence Howard, that he still has an acting career, unlike some people that are trying to ruin people's acting careers. Please let him know he's still War Machine in my heart. He should still be War Machine in everyone's heart. Don't give up, Terrence. Please don't give up. And you know what? Even if he shot you, Tony Stark would still have your back. That's how much he loves you, man. Don't worry about it. Now we have to talk about the love interest in here. The love interest, Zulay, which, by the way, let me return to that one. He says Zulay. She says Zulay. That's not her name. It's Z-U-L-A-Y. Zulay. But yet it comes off as Zulay. Am I taking crazy pills with these people? No. Guys, Zulay. Well, anyway, Zulay, who plays Zulay, get a name, decides to have breakfast with her stalker. And where do they go for breakfast? Empire Diner, a sit-down restaurant. Well, you know what? It's a classy joint for a man who just won $5,000 after cost. That was a good line. Well, what does she have for breakfast? Calamari. If I dated a girl who ate calamari for breakfast, I would either A, be dating a mermaid, and there's only one hot mermaid, and she's in a Disney film, or the other one is a person who's someone I wouldn't be dating. So, well, what's the problem here? calamari, first of all, at a place called the Empire Diner. Where are they getting from? The Empire of the Sea? Is Neptune gonna bring her the dish and go, oh, luckily my trident had a squid on it? Ha ha! No. And by the way, the waitress in that scene looked like she was more out of place than a Red Sox fan dead in the middle of Yankee Stadium. It's ridiculous. It's talk about a sore thumb sticking out. At some points, I really think she wanted to yell out line, like I was yelling out plot. What the heck's going on? Not just that, but after this Zulay, and I'm calling her Zulay, not Zulai, because you know what? I know how to do things the correct way, alright? Well, Zulay takes him into her house where the only funny character of this entire movie, by the way, is Abuela, the grandmother, who's hilarious. Okay? She actually acted, and she acted better than anybody else. She should win a Supporting Actress Academy Award because she's the only one who actually pulled this entire film out of the gutter of oblivion. Ah! So Abuela lets this gringo come into the household at some ungodly hour, and what does she do as she's trying to act romantic? She asks him his name, and he goes, Sean MacArthur, doing his absolute best Lenny impersonation from Mice and Men, and she says to him, and I quote, Sean MacArthur, sounds like a knight. What? What? A knight? Where have you heard this? Where? Oh, King Arthur's mighty round table with knights such as Lancelot, Bors, Kay, MacArthur. What is he the knight of? Milk production? This is ridiculous. He just goes... First of all, I'm not trusting her rationale in knowing anything about the Arthurian legend or anything about knights. Background in English education, and it tore at my heart. I love the Arthurian legend, and there was never once any hint of a MacArthur. Unless, of course, she's talking about King Arthur, King MacArthur. What, did the cow suddenly fall into a McDonald's restaurant and become the manager? And suddenly he's knighting himself with French fry swords? This is ridiculous. Get this off the screen. Oh my goodness. The only thing worse than this is Louis Guzman's role in the film. Louis Guzman, absolute brilliant comedic actor, put in a non-comedic performance. Not just as Louis Guzman, the would-be antagonist, which is like saying, here is the ketchup's hamburger, but he's put in a non-comedic role. Having Louis Guzman in your film and not giving him the most hilarious lines to say is like detailing your car with a hydrogen bomb. You did! Your car's done! Yeah, it's done. It's also nuked off the face of the planet, you moron! But I digress. First of all, the two men that they picked to fight against each other, Evan Haley and Sean MacArthur, when they take their shirts off in the last scene. You see the muscle-ripped bodies, and they're all not greased down because they don't have to be the ripped gladiators of war. And what do you hear from all the teeny boppers in the crowd? That is exactly what you heard. They picked two actors that two people that the entire world could care less about. They were ripped, so what? I heard girls screaming at the top of their lungs when Brad Pitt took his armor off in Troy. Even when that bird-chested actor from what is it, the Pirates of the Caribbean films, I'm even taking his name out of my head because I don't even want to talk about it. Legolas, we'll just say Legolas, you know who I'm talking about. Bird-chested comes on the screen, and I heard women swooning in the theaters by the tens. Can't fit hundreds in a theater, that's a fire-coded problem. But these two took their shirts off, and it's like you had to force yourself not to laugh. You know what? I've ranted too much. I need a break.